Welcome to episode 57 of our ComfyUI tutorial series. Today I will show you the Qwen model, a new model that is surprisingly good. It can generate images with complex text and illustrations, as you can see in the images shown here, and it has really good prompt understanding. Stick around to see what it is capable of. Make sure your ComfyUI is updated to use these workflows. I like to go to the update folder and run the update ComfyUI bat file, then I just restart ComfyUI. Sometimes certain nodes in ComfyUI need to be updated so they can recognize new models. If you get an error with some nodes, open the manager, click Update All, and then restart ComfyUI. Let's test some workflows. As usual, you can get the workflows for free from Discord with all the information you need to run them. Always check the Pixarroma Note on the left. You need 4 models to run this workflow and also 4 custom nodes. In this workflow, I use the Qwen Q8 version, but depending on your video card, you should try a model that fits your setup. The smaller the Q version, the lower the quality, but it will run faster. I tested Q8 and Q6 and had similar speed, with Q8 being about 1 to 2 seconds faster on my RTX 4090 and the quality was very similar. A friend of mine tested the Q4 model on 12 GB of VRAM and it worked fine. Try different versions to see which one works best for you. You download each of the models from the Pixarroma Note, then go to your ComfyUI folder, find the models directory, and place each model in the correct folder. For the Qwen image model, place it in the Diffusion Models folder. You do the same for the Clip model and place it in the Clip folder, then put the VAE model in the VAE folder, and the 4 steps LoRa in the LoRa's folder. The upscaler, you should already have it, but if not, you can download it as well. From the Manager and Custom Nodes Manager, install these nodes, but if you followed the previous tutorials, you should already have them. If you are missing a node, ComfyUI will notify you, and you will see a red outline around the nodes. If you downloaded a different Q version model, make sure you select the downloaded version in this node, and do the same for the rest of the nodes. If you cannot see the model in the node, go to Edit and refresh node definitions. Let's run the workflow. The first time it will be a little slower, but the second time it should run faster. And this is the result. As you can see, it is pretty good with text. In fact, I haven't seen another free model that is this good with text so far. If you want a bigger image, you can enable the upscaler and run the workflow again. It will upscale the same image because the seed is fixed, so if you want to generate a new one, you need to change the seed manually. The upscaled version is also fine, but if your video card is powerful enough, you can get away without using the upscaler. Let's do some tests with a photo of a burger. I used ChatGPT to generate a prompt, and the Qwen model works best with long and detailed prompts. I added this Flux resolution calculator node, which lets you pick a resolution easily so you don't have to change the width and height manually. When I run it, you can see what size you will get for that image, and here is the image at that exact size. It looks quite good and delicious. The generation took 21 seconds. Let's see if we can increase the image size. If your card is good enough, you can go higher. Changing the megapixel size from 1 to 2 gives almost a full HD size, but still needs a few more pixels to be exact. I'll cancel this generation and set it to 2.1 megapixels. Now when I run the workflow, it's almost perfect full HD, only 8 pixels wider, but you can use a crop node at the end to get the exact size if you want. The result is a big, detailed full HD image. The surprise was that it only took a few extra seconds. With other models, larger images can take a long time, but Qwen seems to handle them well. I was able to generate a 2K image without upscaling in under a minute, but some subjects started repeating, so it's best not to go over 2000 pixels. I like to use a landscape ratio for my YouTube videos, full HD, with the same 2.1 value for megapixels. If your card can't handle that, use a smaller size. The result is this image. I think Qwen just became my favorite model. What do you think? Let's test a few more prompts. I'll add the nodes here so you can see them better. Let's try a game interface to see how well it can handle text and buttons. And look at this image. How crazy is that? The logo, buttons, and interface are also clear. Game designers will love it. Let's try an advertising image of a ComfyUI spaghetti box next to a plate of spaghetti. We got this cool image with the ComfyUI box and custom noodles. It's so fun to work with. Now let's try another one for a Qwen energy drink. Look, It even got the smaller text at the bottom of the can right. I love it. You can also use it to generate web page design ideas. Even if it might not get all the text right, it's good enough for inspiration. Look at what I got. It captured most of the text correctly. You can try a few different seeds to see if you get something even better. Let's see how it handles realistic images. The result looks okay, but not as good as the Fluxmania model, which I still think can make more realistic images than Qwen. Qwen tends to make them a little too perfect, and that might be its only weak spot. Let's try a steampunk ladybug with a little poem written on a piece of paper. It looks so good. Even though it didn't get all the words right, you can try a few more seeds until you get one that does, but just look at those gears. I also tested it with a clock, and as you know, many AI models fail to make accurate clock designs, but somehow Qwen managed to get it right. Here I made some magic potions, and each bottle has different text on the label. It did a great job again with both the text and all the details. What impressed me the most was a set of icons. I gave a description for 8 different icons in the prompt, and it got all of them right. I still can't believe it can do something like that. So far, only ChatGPT had this level of prompt understanding, and now we have this model for free. Let me open another workflow. This time it is an image-to-image workflow. The difference here is that you load an image instead of using an empty latent image. I used a node to resize it to a manageable size, but you can right-click and bypass that node if you do not want to adjust the size. Just make sure you do not use images that are too big. You need to adjust the denoise here. The higher the denoise, the more different the image will be. You can compare in this node how it was before and after. It is good at creating different variations of an image. For example, if I change the prompt from forest to winter and snow, then run it again, I get a snowy environment with a different cat. The more I reduce the denoise, the more similar it will be to the original image. As you can see, it did not have much power to change it too much. It only added some snowflakes. The Qwen model is great, but still has some parts that can be improved. I changed from a fixed seed to randomize, and I have this prompt that generates a cartoon pirate girl. The problem is that even if the seed is different, the composition is very similar, so I do not get much variation from the seed. Compared with Flux, which gives something different each time, the longer the prompt, the less variation you get. This is something to be aware of. You may need to rework the prompt to get a different result. Sometimes a single word change does not make much difference, as you can see here with this cartoon man. Another thing is that Qwen seems to know how to generate a lot of trademarked content. For personal use, it might be fun to create whatever you want, but for commercial work, you should be aware that it can create trademarked content, like it did here with Batman and Superman with the correct logos. Be careful with what you prompt when doing commercial work. I already recorded this episode 2 times, and each time, when I am ready, a new LoRa appears that might be better or faster. In the Pixarroma Note, I used the 4 steps LoRa version 1.0, but if you click here, you can see more LoRas, and some are only a few minutes old. Try different ones to see which works better for you. There are versions with 8 steps and with 4 steps that are faster. Depending on the LoRa you use, adjust the number of steps here to match it, and of course, load the LoRa here. I have a bonus workflow and model suggestion for you. This one uses the Nunchaku workflow, so make sure you check that episode. You can download this model from the Civet AI website, but you need to be logged in to download it. Use the download button and place the model in the diffusion folder. It is based on the Flux model, so you should already have the other models if you have used Flux models before. Think of it as a smaller version of the Fluxmania model that is faster and can create nice images quickly. If I change it to run instant and set the fixed seed to increment, I can let it run to see how fast it can generate. If we toggle the bottom panel, you can see it can generate images in just 3 to 4 seconds. Some of the generated images are quite realistic, so I think it is worth trying. I was searching for Nunchaku models, and there are not many available besides Flux, so I found this one by mistake, tried it, and it can be quite useful when you want something fast. Later, you can use another upscaler like Fluxmania to add even more details. I compared 3 models here, the CreArt, the Qwen, and the Flux model. What Qwen is missing are some imperfections that make an image look more realistic. However, that can also be an advantage for Qwen because it makes fewer mistakes. I really like using it for illustrations. For game design, you can see that CreArt is more desaturated because it tries to look more realistic, while Qwen is the most precise and more colorful. It depends on the style you are after. For realistic people, Qwen makes them a little too smooth, missing the imperfections that the CreArt model sometimes adds, as well as the Fluxmania model. I did not have enough space to include that one here. Qwen tends to create more Asian women, while Flux tends to have that typical AI face. You can pick your favorite. When it comes to design or product design, I like how well Qwen creates the images because it makes fewer errors and produces more creative designs. If I were to give a quick rating for realism, it is not quite there yet. The speed could be improved, and hopefully we will get a nunchaku version for it in the future. For prompt understanding, it is great, the best one I have tested so far. The image quality is also great. For text generation, it is again the best I have tried. The downside is that at the moment of this recording, there are not many LoRa's for it, only a few I saw on Civet AI, and there are no ControlNet models for it. Also, the seed issue, where it does not create enough variation from seed to seed, might be a problem since using the same prompt can result in similar designs even when the seeds are different. YouTube just rolled out a hype button for some users. If you see it below my video, click it to help boost the video in the leaderboard. Let me know in the comments which Q model version you used and on what video card. Your comment might help others, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you, legends, and everyone who subscribed to the membership. Your support helps me create more tutorials and workflows for you. That is all for today. Have a nice week, and I will see you on Discord.